So how's it going today, guys? Back here with another video. Today, man, we are going to be doing the top 5 point guards in NBA 2k24 Myteam, and this is primary point guards only. I've got 3 honorable mentions here, and then of course I've got my top 5. So I think any of these 3 honorable mentions, if you're running them right now, you are more than alright because they are great cards. But first honorable mention in the Legendary Path set is Ruby Steve Francis. Now, this card is going to give you absolutely elite rim running. Not the greatest release in the world, but he can definitely shoot if he's open. There's only really one card that I'm going to mention today that is an elite defender, and all these other cards really aren't. You know, they can defend, but some of them, but they aren't going to be on the level as one of the cards is in my top 5. But offensively, rim running especially, man, this card can definitely do the trick. And if you're running him right now at your starting point guard or backup, I would say that you're more than alright. And then another legendary path card here, as another honorable mention, is Brandon Jennings. He's another card that's going to be elite on the offensive end. He's not going to be as good rim running as Steve Francis, but as far as like shooting, shot creating, um, and other methods of scoring besides rim running, I would say that he probably is better, man. And he's another card that really gets slept on, but I think that he is a very good point guard in this game for sure. So I think he is worth an honorable mention. And then last honorable mention, we have Ruby Tim Hardaway, another card that is very slept on. Now, this card, what he's going to give you is an absolutely elite release. Super quick release, one of the quickest I've used in the game. And if you can get used to it, if you can time it out, man, this card can be absolutely elite for you. I mean, he's not going to give you anything else really on a spectacular level, but I think that his release alone really sets him apart, man. And I think that he deserves an honorable mention just because of that. And coming in at number 5 is actually an NBA Series 1 reward, man. And that is Russell Westbrook. Now, this card, you're not going to run into him very much. But when you do, man, I mean, this card. What I mean, we just know how Russell Westbrook's animations work with rim running. I mean, he can just dunk over anyone. His animations are always absolutely cheesy on the driving dunk, man. I mean, that's just kind of how Russell Westbrook cards always are, and I think for that reason alone, he's not as good as the Pink Diamond from last year, of course, especially shooting the ball. But rim running, I mean, Westbrook, you know what he's going to give you. He's going to give you absolutely elite tier rim running, and I think he might be a little bit better on the defensive end than Steve Francis as well. So he comes in at number 5. Now, coming in at number 4 is kind of a niche card, I would say, and that is Ruby Jason Kidd. Now, offensively, very limited. Of course, he can play make for you. I mean, no question. But defensively, this is by far and away the best defensive point guard in the game. If you want a point guard that can lock up the likes of some of these other cards coming up later on the list, maybe Sapphire Steph Curry, you know, any of those elite, you know, shot creating cards like that, he can just absolutely lock them up. So he's limited on the offensive end, but if you prefer a defensive first point guard, I don't think you can go wrong with Jason Kidd. He comes in at number 4, man. And coming in at number 3 is a legendary path reward, and that is Dame Lillard. Now this card kind of gets shafted a little bit when people talk about him. You know, people talk about, oh, you know, he's not all these cracked up to be. I think he just kind of gets outshined a little bit by Devin Booker, who of course is a shooting guard, not a point guard. Gets outshined by him a little bit, but this card is absolutely elite, man. If you are into shot creating, if you are into shooting a lot of threes, I don't know if there's a better card in the game for you, man. I really don't. I think that the Sam Amethyst Dame Lillard is absolutely elite, and he comes in at the number 3 spot, man. And coming in at number 2 from the Mirage set, you guys probably know where this is going. We have Amethyst Derrick Rose. Now, I would say by far and away the best dunking point guard in the game, best rim running point guard in the game. He seems faster than any card that I've used this year. I mean, his speed is just elite. He's a little bit small, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, really, a lot of the point guards that people are running right now are small, so it's really not a big deal. And just, again, the animations he gets kind of similar to Westbrook. I just think he's a little bit more cheesy than Westbrook. That's why he's above Westbrook. I mean, just some of the animations he gets with ball handling and that kind of thing. I mean, he can just glitch by defenders. just an absolutely elite point guard in this game, and I know I've said elite about 50 times by now, but he's one of the best, man, and he comes in at number 2. And then you guys know who's going to come in at number 1. I mean, you probably could have guessed it. We have Diamond Kyrie Irving. Now, first thing I want to mention briefly is I see a lot of people running the other Diamond Kyrie Irving, wherever he's at. He's not in this, but he's in one of the rewards or something. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. The other Diamond Kyrie Irving that you get for the paid season pass, a lot of people are running him over this one, and this one actually has a couple extra badges, so definitely make sure that you're running this one instead, the sleeved Kyrie. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any question. He is for sure the best point guard in the game, best shooting point guard, and then his layup animations that he gets. I mean, of course he's not really going to dunk the ball like a D Rose or like a Steve Francis or a Westbrook would, but I mean, just his layup animations that he gets, it is like almost impossible to block this card when he is driving to the rim. I don't know what it is. There's no other card that's really like that. I mean, just you can go to the rim with this card and pretty much score every time, no matter who's down there waiting for you in the paint. You know, especially if you get past someone, no one's going to block you from behind with this when you're using this card. And that combined with his shooting, his ball handling, just by far and away the best point guard in the game, man, I would say. But yeah, definitely comes in at number 1, Diamond Kyrie Irving. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy the video, man. Be back with a few more lists, plan on doing all the positions, so please make sure to tune into that. But yeah, with all that being said, please make sure to subscribe. We'll do a giveaway at 500 subscribers, and please make sure to leave a like on the video, man. That is always much appreciated. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.